interested in soil health, and in 2011 we started doing no-till gardening. Made the transition where we wouldn't till anymore, and just really enjoyed seeing the changes in the soil and the quality of our vegetables in response to that. And so it kind of became a little bit more of a passion to do more and more, and so we looked at also taking the excess of our produce to the farmers market. It was just starting up here in Hardin, River Valley's farmers market, and so we started expanding there, and I think that's where we met Ellie, who was the food course person at that time. And she contacted us about doing harvest of the month, providing some kale. I think was the first thing that we provided to her for the school system, and then from there it just started building the relationship. And so we built this high tunnel in 2016. This was the first one that we built because we had problems here. We're close to the Bighorn River, kind of a little bit lower in the valley, and so frost was kind of shortening our season. I remember one year our tomatoes got frosted out in August.
Really early, yeah.
And so, and then we started hearing about high tunnels, and then through the NRCS, the high tunnel program that was available for cost share, and so that was interesting to us, and so we applied and were able to build this 30 by 72 high tunnel in 2016, and then with the schools, I guess we started providing more in 2017.
I think we were doing more lettuce greens, and they liked kale.
They like kale and they like lettuce greens, and with the school, with the early season, we really saw the benefits of the high tunnel with season extension, to be able to grow produce in the quantities necessary to be able to maybe provide some to the schools. Obviously, we were just scaling up and trying to learn. And so the high tunnel, so we decided to apply for a second high tunnel in 2018. And we built the second one over to the north here, and so that we could dedicate one high tunnel to salad greens, and then also we'd have one high tunnel each year that would be in season-long crops like your tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers, and so we just flip-flop those each year with our crop rotation, and we like to say one's called salad and the other one's called salsa. So the salad tunnel or the salsa high tunnel. So.
I think for me, I was fairly new to the community, and so the starting place saw Living Root Farms at the farmers market and kind of did a little tour of, hey, this is amazing. What do you guys, where else do you sell? What else do you have going on? And would you be at all interested? And luckily with everything, they were just ready to go. And so we kind of sat down and talked about it each week, put a little bug in your ear about when could we after the season and all of that. And I think that was my first time talking to you guys about maybe doing something on a little bit larger scale with the school, from what I remember.
Yeah, I think we started with Harvest of the Month, providing some kale for your program there, and there it just kind of developed and relationships started building, and it's been awesome to see the support from the school district and the farm to school program. So.
Yeah. Exactly. We did a little like fresh stuff in the summer, and then just for, I need this. Who else has it? You guys. Perfect.
Yeah.
And so kind of those small things, and then it just kept growing.
I think the products we sold mostly to the schools were whatever would be on the salad bar. So like the lettuce greens, Mizuna, arugula. We did some of the Salanova lettuce, a lot of kale, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, those types of things are what worked best to go to the school. As far as pricing goes, I'll let you talk about that.
Well, when we initially met with Ellie and Patrice, we sat down and just kind of spoke. We talked about what the pricing would be, and they were real flexible to know what we were pricing it at the farmers market, and if we would provide it in larger quantities, we were willing to, obviously give a better price on it. And so they said that they would basically give us a heads up if we were outside the range of what they could do, and so they were real fair about it and wanted to make sure that our costs were covered and that we were also benefiting from it, so because they appreciated getting locally. So it really was pretty a smooth transaction, and we never really had any issues with coming to a agreement on prices. It was we were happy with what they had offered, so went from there. So. Yeah, so we realized with the school district, with the farm to school program, that we needed to be able to produce earlier in the year to hit that spring semester, and then also to carry it harvest as long as possible in the fall to be able to provide to the schools. And so, you want to talk about that? What we provided?
Well, mostly it was just lettuce, greens, the greens.
Kales, and then and so the high tunnels again would help us to extend it. And so season extension with the high tunnels, we kind of figure on at least a month earlier and a month later, and so a month in each end of the growing season is what you can expect. Now with cool season crops, with the salad greens, the kales, the spinaches, we've been able to overwinter spinach here now, and so that's been really a neat option for us, because we can plant spinach in the fall and know if we can overwinter it, then we have an early spring crop for it. It'll come up and flourish, and we've got some in the north high tunnel that is doing really well. And even when we had a week of 20, 30 below here this in February, so amazingly it overwintered. And so that's been a really helpful tool for us with the season extension with the salad greens with these high tunnels for those crops. And so with the season extension in the fall, our cucumber harvest, we can go way later in the fall. Tomatoes and peppers, we've had a couple summers where we got early frosts in August and September, where when we were gardening outside only, that our crops were terminated early because of that early frost. And so this has really helped us to be able to push those full season crops into the fall, even sometimes early winter. So just depends on how cold it gets at night. If we stay 25 degrees or above, and then our tomatoes and everything will be okay. We can put a little supplemental heat in here if we know we're going to have a couple cold nights. Put some heaters in here just to try to carry it through. Yeah, so it's helped out tremendously with our harvest of our tomatoes, especially in our cucumber crops. So. Well, succession planting, we're learning every year. We're making mistakes, and we're also learning something and improving our planning ahead of time. And so for salad greens, like our Salanova lettuce heads, we figure on getting at least 3 harvests off of the head with just a cut and come back again type of harvest technique. We don't cut the whole head off. We'll leave it a little high so it regrows, and then we can get about 3 to 4 harvests off of it before it starts to maybe get a little bit bitter, and then we'll have a whole nother set of seedlings started in the trays inside under grow lights that we'll bring out, and we'll be planting those. And so in March we plant. Usually around the first week of March we can get our lettuce greens out. Just depends again on that nighttime temperature that we're seeing in the forecast. And Salanova is real cold hardy and can take well. And so we'll just plant pretty much every month. We'll put out another planting of lettuce greens to be able to keep up with the salad quantities that we like to try to produce. And then for radishes and salad turnips and all that, we'll plant almost weekly for those, just because they're very quick to grow, and we plant about a quarter of a bed every week, and just keep rotating that all the way through as far as we can into the summer with our CSAs baskets that we provide also. And so cucumbers, one thing, we plant those. We start everything inside, and then we come out and transplant those out with the no-till system. We try to plant nice, healthy seedlings in the ground. And so with the cucumbers, we plant those in April usually, and those will last until August. It's kind of pushing it. And so this year what we're going to do is a second planting in June. Yeah, so the food safety that we had to adjust for our farm to school program is basically Teri and was able to go to the food serve course that the school district put on, just to be familiar with the best practices there for food safety. And then we also realized that we needed better facilities to be able to wash and dry and prep the vegetables that would be going to the school systems. So we applied for our Growth Through Agriculture grant through the state of Montana here, and we're able to get a grant to do the washout that we're standing in here, so that we had a dedicated space to be able to bring our harvested vegetables in, wash them, dry them, and also package them ready for delivery to the school system, but also to our farmers market and our CSA members for our CSA pickups. So, yeah. So what we have is stainless steel. Try to go with all stainless steel countertops. We've got a bubbler for our salad greens, a spinner that we've converted, and then a drying table, and so that we could handle everything right here, and also keep it as a dedicated clean space for our vegetables to be prepped. So
I think the first time we met, we had talked about whether you all were interested in being GAP certified or anything like that, and what that could mean. But really, it transitioned into just what was important for the school nutrition side to be able to process things. And so you guys were already washing anything that we were purchasing already, and so it worked out great. And it really wasn't a huge barrier. What you all were doing was exactly what we needed.
So with COVID-19, it kind of took everybody by surprise, obviously, last spring. And so we had planned for spring sales to the school district, but with the COVID-19, those plans got changed. And so we had excess lettuce greens and everything last spring, but we were able to find other avenues to get those to market through the food bank also, and so it worked out okay. As for planning the future with the fall semester, we really didn't plan on the school being able to provide to them, because more than likely the salad bar wouldn't be an option in the public schools last fall semester. So, which we were right.
Yeah.
So, and then for this spring, we really didn't scale up too much either, because not knowing exactly what the school, what condition, what status would be here in the county. So, so we're a little bit behind this year on how much that we would be ready to harvest at this point, but it looks like we might have something in place for this fall semester, hopefully, if everything goes in the trajectory that I guess that we're heading in here in the county, with less cases and opening things up. So
have a lot of communication, open communication, and figure out what they want and what products to grow, and about, just talk about how much quantity they're going to need, and then to be able to plan ahead for that.
yeah, good communication is the key to building those relationships. To reach out and see what the school district's interested in doing. We realize every district is different probably, and what stage that they're participating in the farm to school and looking for local grown, but at least make your presence known and let people know that you're available and willing to try to produce and provide for the school system, and we've been blessed with the relationships here in Bighorn County, and it's been really a great ride that we didn't really look for initially. It just kind of came to be, and we're thankful for those relationships being built with the school district, the support that they've provided us here at Living Root Farm. So.
And the grace they've had for us.
Yeah.
When we've,
couldn't provide
something, they,